Took me too long to get the video up. I wanted to see you fixing your engine.
No, I was just trying to replace an air filter in my car. Not
I'm
very
so
excited.
impressed.
Thanks. You have to learn these things when you're on your own.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. It's Carol at Big Cat Rescue, and that was Lauren Buckingham. I was headed over here to check on Sassy because they said she was back. Well, actually, this is what I heard on the radio. Sassy's in her cage. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I certainly hope so. But I think they might have sent her home from vacation today. I know everybody was really concerned as to whether or not they'd be able to catch her because she doesn't come up into the front part of Funcation. And I think we're all going to be really busy on Thursday. So they were wanting to get her to go on home and thought they might try it in the evening when she's more apt to walk up in that direction. Hey, Reise! You saying bye-bye to Lauren? Say bye-bye, Lauren. I'm not seeing any people. Tomorrow is Chitaro's 19th birthday. And I'm not sure, oh, yep, there he is. I was going to say, I'm not sure where they put him. If Sassy was coming home from vacation, because he was in Sassy's cage. But they must have moved him back over here into his enclosure. Thank you, everybody who has been reporting on Nikita Lion today. One person said that on the 13th she had documented Nikita vomiting, and that was the first that we had heard of that. She's been coughing the last couple of days, so we've had people watching her on the webcam and giving me the exact time in Eastern time so we can look on the tape recordings of the camera and capture the video for the vet. I was telling everyone, Catherine, that I just love your radio call that says Sassy is in her cage, because it's like, well, yeah, we don't usually have to announce when the cats are in their cages.
Well, we were moving her from vacation.
Moving her from cage to cage, so.
Yeah, I think, yeah, there you go.
Previously, she was in vacation cage.
Good job getting her home.
I didn't get her home.
Who did it?
We got her as far as that den, and then we just left this tunnel open and shut all that over there. But now that you're here, I can go open all that up for Sundari. We just left her in there. Jamie and I got her over here. We shifted Cheaty over, and then...
Oh, was that today?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like at 4 o'clock, like at 4:15, we shifted Cheat over. Oh. And then I had to go get... She was looking like she was interested, so I ran up there with food and got her down here into the little... new eating area over there and locked her in, and then we put the tunnel up, and then we got her as far as there, and she's like, no, I'm tired, I'm done. So
well, good job.
Yeah. She was home when I came by to do meds,
so I figured if we left her alone that she would eventually go, oh wait, I live over there.
And she likes it over there.
she does.
So all right, now I can open this tunnel up for...
Yes, I'm sure he is. Sundari, get your cage back, Bubby. Yes, ma'am. You're looking very pouncy.
Yeah.
Are you very pouncy? Tonight at... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. There she comes. Tonight at 7... the volunteers will all be meeting at the party house. Well, actually at the church house, not the party house. There's a building that we rent out to a church right outside our gate where we're going to start doing a lot of our presentations because it's better suited for that. And we're going to go over there at 7 and have dinner together, and then at 7:30, who's doing the presentation on cheetahs tonight?
That would be Anna.
Anna?
Anna?
Our legislative intern?
Yep. Could you like go over there and keep her busy
Come here.
for a minute?
Come be busy with me. Come on, Sundari. What have I got? Oh my goodness, what have I got? I've got nothing. That's what I've got. Come here. Come here. Leave my scale alone. I've got grass. I have grass. You want some grass? You want that? No, I just want to rub on the fence. That's what I want to do. I know, just like my cat at home, so rubby. Got the rubby ears. They're saying you're very pretty and they're giving you lots of hearts and likes. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, it's so wonderful that they love you so much. So, watch for us at 7:30, and hopefully we will be able to go live with that presentation on cheetahs, or cheetah. Yo, you stay over here. She's headed your way.
Well, you're not much of a helper.
I am not nearly as interesting as somebody hanging on her cage.
See, she's not much of a helper if she's not helping me keep you away. Not much, huh? Not much of a helper. Cheat was all like roaming around and smelling of these, like, ooh, there was a girl leopard over here.
To clarify, we're going to have dinner at 7 and the presentation at 7:30.
No, just a stick threw me off there. I was like, oh, that was nice.
I know! The very next day after her presentation on snakes, what do? I run into a snake right there at the corner where Hoover is, and then another day later, ran into another snake. It was like, what is it? I'm seeing snakes everywhere now.
The girls called me over to, Bailey was playing with a little snake, not that long.
One of those ringnet?
No, it was spotted. It was like a kind of a silvery, creamy kind of color, but had little red spots on it.
That wasn't in the presentation.
Yeah, and so they called me over, and they couldn't find it in the grass. I had to climb out the cage and look from atop, and I'm like, no, a little to the left. So we got it, and I finally got the scraper, and we got it out of the cage. And
Dale, all the tour people are done in the gift shop. Are we good to go?
Did you do the kitten cabana?
Yes.
Karma, is everything good to go in the gift shop? So I picked it up with tongs and took it over, and I'm like, I don't think it looks to me like it's poisonous. And the girls were like, well, check its eyes, it's got to be blah, blah. And they go, we paid attention in the snake thing. And I'm like, well, good for you.
I've never been close enough to one to see whether or not their pupils are round or slit. I'm sorry.
Well, it was a little bitty when I was holding it in tongs, so I just turned it around and went, nope, they're round.
I do not care for snakes. They're just not my bag. Do you like snakes? Are snakes someone to play with? Yes, they're so fun for leopards. Did you guys see that post that I just put up from Panthera about that mother lion nursing a baby leopard cub? Was that not the weirdest thing you ever saw? I usually hate those kind of stories where it's like, oh, look, the dogs are racing the lion cub or whatever. But I thought that was pretty unique since it happened out in nature on their own. But unfortunately, the article said that's not going to go well for that baby leopard because her family is not going to like that leopard. That was sad. Jacqueline, Nikita's been coughing the last 2 days, and I know every summer I just cough and cough and cough, and it's very sporadic. It's like I'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and cough my lungs out for 2 minutes, and then I'm good for hours, and I don't feel congested or stuffy or anything else, and then I'll just have a freaking coughing fit, usually like right in the middle of a phone call. Seems like that always starts it. But so I didn't know if maybe cats have seasonal allergies as well, or if it's something worse. And so both vets have been texting back and forth with the whole vet team for the last 2 days over this, trying to decide what to do. And Dr. Liz Wynn came out and looked at her today, and of course we've been making video clips of all of the times that we see her coughing. We put that camera that was on Mickey, we moved over onto Nikita so that we can watch her in her smaller side of her enclosure. We can always see her in the Explore camera, but she spends a lot of time over in the roof section, so now we can see her over there. Look at you. That is some lazy leopard going on. This is Jade and Armani. Jade's the one in the front. So we came up with a plan, and the plan is to try and treat it as if it's congestion with antibiotics and I think she said antihistamines and maybe steroids. I don't know, I'm not the person that actually hands out those meds, but we're not going to be able to sedate her until Monday, which is when the vets will be available to actually sedate her. And so this will give us a few days advance to try and see if those drugs have any effect on her, and hopefully she'll be all better and we won't have to sedate her on Monday. But if she doesn't respond to that therapy that was prescribed today, then we're really concerned, because the only other thing that could cause that kind of coughing would be cancer or could be lungworms. We need to get a stool sample for her to check for that. She didn't poop today, so can't do that. And for those of you who are wondering why we can't just have webcams all over the place back there, it's because of the bandwidth. We have the highest upload speed that Fios makes, and even with that, between the Explore webcam, all of the computers that are in the office, and the 2 webcams that are usually on Nikita, trying to add any more webcams to that area is just, it's going to bring it all crashing down. It's a lot of bandwidth for you guys to get the kinds of views that you're getting. So we're really worried about Nikita. She has some lumps on her body, and that's another thing that is making us really worried that it's cancer. But we can't get our hands all over the cat because she would tear our arms off just playing with us, and the only way to really get a good look at that is going to be through x-rays and a sonogram. But those things are really dangerous, especially if she's got any kind of congestion going on, because being sedated is so hard on them when they do have any kind of lung issues. So we're just really, really dreading that, and I'm so hoping that the therapy that Dr. Wynn put her on today is just going to turn everything around and she's going to be great. That's what I'm going to picture anyway. Yeah, I see all of your praying hands there and your well wishes, and I really appreciate it. It's so hard. There's so many of these cats that are over the age of 20 now, and their old age issues are just killing us. Killing them. That's what's killing us, is that it's killing them.
Reise, can we come talk to you? My happy girl, my happy chatty. Oh, see my chatty catty. Yes, you are.
How many of you ladies had a chatty Cathy when you were young? All you millennials are like, what the heck?
Hi. Yeah. Who's a good girl? Is Reise a good girl? Yes, she is. She's so precious. She's a precious cougar.
Yeah, I don't have anything for you, sorry. This grass in her cage grew so fast. Billy Rose, if you would like to see Priya, I can head over that way and see if we can catch her. Well, thank you, Donna. We are so blessed to have such amazing donors like you guys who help us have the best equipment possible to provide top-notch care for these cats so that they do live such long, healthy lives. We couldn't possibly do it without you. While I'm walking over there, get a load of this. It's Hoover! I love these sleeveless tank tops. If you go to catrescue.biz and type in Hoover, I'm sure you'll find this design. And I just put in, hi everybody. I just put in sorry, I stopped dead in my tracks. I thought I saw a cat, a domestic cat, but it was not. It was a palmetto stump shaped like a cat. I just put in 2 new designs, one by Cindy Arthur and one by Matthew Barbario for Sabre, and both of those are customizable. So if you type in Sabre, S-A-B-R-E, at catrescue.biz, I'm sure you'll find both designs, or if you type Sabre and Cindy or Sabre and Matthew, you'll find the 2 different designs based on who did it. By customizable, what you can do is add your own text, and so you can print your name, you can print how you felt about the cat, you could print Big Cat Act, you can print whatever you want on your own shirt or tank top or tee or coffee mug or sports bottle or whatever you choose. Miss Priya, yeah, by special request, girlfriend, somebody wants to see you. How nice of you to look up for them. Please do not jump off of there. Oh, goodness gracious. You are so bouncy. Yes, you are. Don't want you to hurt yourself. Oh, see, I'm a tiger. I'm tiger tough. Tiger tough. She's got this patch right there. See, right behind her shoulder? She came with it, and it just doesn't heal. I don't know if maybe it's an old scar. I thought it was like a cut that would heal, but she's had it since like last October. It's not like open or weepy or anything. It just doesn't have any fur growing there. Oh, goodness. How's that? That's better. Too old to kneel down. Plus you're going to get me, I'm sure. Hi, Deb. I got my McCafe coffee today from you. Thank you so much. Something else I've been working on is our Amazon store, and I've been watching all of these videos and tutorials, and today I was on a webinar and trying to learn everything I can about selling on Amazon, because I think if I could make it work, it's something that would work for other sanctuaries that are looking for ways to support their work without having visitors. I know some sanctuaries don't want to be open to the public, and they're always finding it very difficult to raise funds for what they need. And so I think if you take a for-profit type model like a store and run that to benefit entirely the sanctuary, that it might provide a way that some of these places, especially places that are out in the middle of nowhere and don't have any kind of tourist traffic, that it might be a way for them to support themselves. So I love learning new things and trying out new things and then figuring out what works and what doesn't, and kind of cutting out all of the mistakes that I make along the way so that I can make it something that I can present to a group on a group of sanctuary founders or people who run sanctuaries, to make it easier for them so they don't have to go through all the same stupid learning curve that I had to go through. So anyway, I've been playing around with this Amazon store and taking some of the items over at bigcatrescue.biz, which is the store for the sanctuary for Big Cat Rescue, and taking some of those items and running them over at Amazon. And so one of the things that Amazon looks at is your engagement, just like everybody else, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. They don't care if the engagement is good or bad, they just care that there's engagement. So if you go over to, well, if you just go to amazon.com, well, actually, here's an easier way. If you go to bigcatrescue.org/bracelet, bigcatrescue.org/bracelet, I'm going to be quiet for a minute while you guys hear that. It's Duchess. Did you hear her roaring? bigcatrescue.org/bracelet. It'll take you to a bracelet that we're selling over there on Amazon. And I know a lot of you have bought that bracelet through our store here, either in person or you might have bought it over at bigcatrescue.biz, or you might have bought it off of our website at bigcatrescue.org. But if you've ever bought one of those, and only if you've really bought one, if you could give us a review over at Amazon, that really helps. And when you look at the bottom where it says like other items by this seller, then you can see some of the other things that we sell, and if it's anything that you've bought that you give us a review on, that would be great. So there's like the most popular t-shirt that we have is the one that has China Doll and it says Panthera Tigris on it. I have that over there, and then our most popular long sleeve shirt, which is that time-honored one, it's over there. And then I put those little change purses that are so cute. They're like leopard face, lion face, and tiger face. Those are adorable. So I just put those up on the site today. And the site's starting to get some cross traction. I just started it, when did I start it? In April, I think. And it's doing, I think, pretty well, given how new it is and how little I knew about selling on Amazon before now. And all of you who have been donating to International Tiger Day. Wow, I just got an email from Susan saying we're only $1,000 away from meeting our goal, and our goal is to raise $10,000 for tigers in the wild on International Tiger Day, which is July 29th. And we're matching dollar for dollar the first $5,000 that people donate. So we only have $1,000 more of our match to go, because so many people have already bought items. Oh, that grass looks great in there. So many people have bought items over at, and I can never remember which way this goes. I think it's 911tigers.com, and hopefully Kewlona will do something over there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to try this. This is my first time at an ad. It says take an ad break, start ad. How was that? That was our first ad on Facebook. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm so sorry you guys had to watch an ad. I hope it wasn't awful, but at least it was short.
Hi, Keisha. Keisha Tiger. We just had our first ad on Facebook.
So I was, Kewlona told me about this thing, and we make so much ad revenue off of our YouTube channel that I thought, wow, if we could monetize our Facebook channel where we have a lot more engagement, that would be really awesome. Of course, I lost about 20 people the minute I went to an ad, so that may not be a good thing to do. I certainly don't intend to do it very often, but hey, if it helps feed the cats, I'm sure those of you who really, really love us will be patient with us as we learn that whole process. But anyway, I wanted to thank everybody who bought stuff over at tigers911.com. That's what Kewlona said is the accurate URL.
Hello there. How did you get under the platform? You had to skinny under? Oh, yeah. Gotta pull yourself out. Goodness. Goodness. You're just so funny. I know. We're gonna go over and see Gabrielle. Thank you for coming out. Here's Gabrielle. Who's the tiny tiger? Are you the tiny tiger? You certainly are. You're so tiny. You're so little.
Alright, now I don't see comments. If I don't lose you guys, oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. The Beatles. Not bad.
It's been a hard day's night, and I've been sleeping, or I've been working like a tiger.
Oh, big yawn. Look at those toopies. Diane, I'm so glad you love your paw print and your, what'd you say, earrings and necklace? Countdown on a black screen. Uh-oh. I wonder if I did it wrong. Really, Donna? Is that what it was? Or did different people see different ads? One person saying it's for a colonoscopy, Another person said it was for the beetles. So the way it works is if you get more than 300 people watching at any given time, then what happens is this little dollar sign comes up on the screen. And from what I read, then what you have to do is click the dollar sign and it starts an ad, and then it just goes black on my screen. But then, I know, you're so chucky. Oh, Charlene says it might go black on your screen if you have an ad blocker. I know it goes black on my screen because it's counting down for me to let me know when it's going to end, and they're only 15 seconds long. I also got another thing from Facebook today that I've never had happen before. When I went to go live today, I got a message saying, "Do you think that Facebook cares about their users?" I was like, yeah, I think they do. I don't think they care about their brands who advertise there much, like Big Cat Rescue, but I think they do care about their users, and that's why they don't want to do anything like alert you guys. Oh shoot, I forgot to alert you guys. I meant to send out an alert on Messenger. I gotta get better organized, Diablo. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to do that. Of course, I didn't know for sure that I was going live. I was looking for something interesting. And you never know when you're going to find anything interesting, or if I'm just going to find snoozing cats. Oh, somebody said that maybe international viewers would get a black screen too. When it's a blank screen or black, can you hear what's going on, or is it just like dead air? Pauline, you didn't miss the alert. I missed posting it. I am the one who screwed up. You know, this image of Diablo here is so typical of what I see every day, and sometimes when photographers are trying to take pictures of the cats, they don't notice it until they actually look at the pictures afterwards. But you see this gorgeous cat laying there, and then if you pay attention to the lighting, you're seeing bars on them. And it's such a poignant reminder to me that these guys are in prison and they did nothing wrong. There's no reason why they should be in jail except for the fact that somebody bred them. And none of the captive breeding serves any kind of conservation value. So it's just so evil, in my opinion, for people to be breeding these magnificent animals for life in cages. See if we can find some caracals. There she is. There's Miss Chaos. She loves laying up on top of that den. Hello, Missy. I know, you have so many people who want to see you. They all just love Miss Chaos. Servals and caracals are so hissy. I spent my morning, you guys may have seen how I spent my morning if you follow our posts or subscribe to our posts over at bigcatrescue.org, but I got a call this morning right in the middle of a bunch of other things that I was doing, and it was a guy who works for a government agency in a state where they have always, well not always, but for a long time have banned the private possession of any kind of exotic cats. And he said the breeders and dealers are really putting pressure, as other states are clamping down on this, to try and open it up so that people can have servals as pets. And he said, you know, I know that there have been some accidents involving servals, and he had found our website and was referring to some of the accidents where people had been bitten by them. But he said, you know, could you give me a few reasons that I can use with our legislature to explain why these guys shouldn't be kept as pets? And I sent him 242 reasons why those lying breeders are lying to people when they tell you that a serval, or a caracal for that matter, could be a good pet. Hello, Matthew Barbario. I was talking about your shirt earlier. Going to sleep? Well, I will let you sleep. Actually, Nadia, that's what I was just talking to Matthew Barbario about. Matthew and, oh, hi, Frosty. Matthew and Cindy both made beautiful memorial items for Saber, and you can find those over at catrescue.biz. Just search for Saber, S-A-B-R-E. Nadia, a memorial video would be really nice. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm so glad to see her laying out in the open and feeling comfortable enough to do that. Well, while we're looking at this long-legged spotted cat here, kind of makes me think of a Facebook question of the day. And the first person to go to bigcatrescue.org/win, W-I-N, and post their answer. It only counts if you post it there, and it only counts if you've never won before. Hey, Frosty. And question is, see how many of you were with us early on in this broadcast. Tonight there's going to be a presentation to the volunteers and interns. What species of cat is it going to be about? First person to get that over at bigcatrescue.org/win will win their choice of either a day tour pass, which is valued at $36 to Big Cat Rescue, or their choice of any one item from either one of the online stores, bigcatrescue.biz or catrescue.biz, bigcatrescue.biz or catrescue.biz. You can pick out any one item up to a $36 value if you are the first person to get that right and you've never won before. You know what I told the guy from the DNR, Frosty, about why servals make bad pets? Because they pee all over everything. Say, yes, I pee all over everything. That's what I do best. And that's why people get rid of them more than anything else. Doesn't matter that you tell them to reply when they get a winner notification. I end up touching the text and then my screen goes away. Luana said, whenever you do win, she's going to send you an email saying, hey, you won. Let her know what it is you want. So many people play the game, but then when she sends them the winning notification, they don't tell her what they want. Maybe they don't want anything, maybe that's why, but you do have to kind of let us know, because some of us here are psychic, but not all of us. I hear Cameron roaring now. Sometimes she has to email people several times and they still don't respond to her. Oh, look who's on the Coolaroo. Ginger's on the Coolaroo. You loving that? Yeah. Well, I'm clearly on the wrong side. I'm getting the back of her head.
They're so happy to see you on there.
For right now, don't send us any more of these. We got several of them we still have to put together. And maybe Thursday we'll hand them out. Thursdays are usually a day when we get a lot of cat stuff done. Yeah, Lawana's right. Some cats I can tell by the sound of their voices, but usually, to be honest, I can tell by the direction from which the sound is coming and how powerful it is. So even though Cameron and Joseph are both in the same direction away from me, they're both due south of me, if it's louder, it's Cameron, and if it's not, it's Joseph, because Joseph is so much further away. Mystery solved. Yeah, Tanya says no hiss. That was actually like reason number 4 is because Servals hiss at you all the time, and nobody wants a pet that's always mad at them. The lighting on you is just beautiful. You watching bugs? I know what you mean, Morella. Sometimes I feel like it's just all I can bear. Ooh, Patty, you are going to love it. Diana, joining us for the walkabout. It's going to be our 25th anniversary. It's going to be a big party for Big Cat Rescue's birthday on, I don't know when it is. Our birthday's on November 4th, but I think that it might be on November 6th. I'm not sure. It'll be like the Saturday closest to our birthday. I have more little icons on my screen than I've ever seen before, and I'm afraid to touch any of them. Lee says it's November the 5th. I believe it's on a Saturday. Diane, this is the biggest coolaroo they make. It's a dog size, large dog size. They don't make them big enough for the big cats, and the problem is, even the lynx, Apollo, was trying to chew his up when we first put it in there. He's so old, I wasn't worried about him actually tearing off a piece of it. But the bigger cats, like cougars and leopards, yeah, they could definitely eat it, and that would be horrible. For those who are asking, this is Ginger. Look at those long legs of yours. My goodness, Ginger. Oh, look at this. It looks like I can put text on there. Talking bubble. That would be fun. Well, I'm not sure what that is. Now I can't make it go away. There we go. Oh dear. Oh, what have I done? Well, I do hope that Silver makes Chitaro a birthday photo. She always does some really beautiful photos. Our gift shop expansion program is going well. I'd say we're probably a 1/6 of the way through with the flooring. It's a lot of flooring. It's 3,000 square feet of tile. so it's taking a while. And they've started tiling the bathrooms, which means we can put in the toilets, which would be nice.
Hi. Is that my little Kewlona?
I don't know, must be Dryden if she hasn't run off yet.
Who is this? Who is this beautiful bobcat?
I don't know, might be Kewlona. You don't look like you have a big enough ruff to be Dryden. I just can't believe you're being all nice with me standing here. Naomi, a group of the people from Explore, put together a really nice calendar. If you go to bigcatrescue.org/catbio, at the bottom of that page is a calendar of all of the cats' birthdays. And you can subscribe to the calendar. It's a Google calendar. So what that means is when you subscribe to a calendar, it adds it to your calendar in Google so that it'll be right there on your calendar when you check it. You are cute. Yes, you are. You're so cute. You're such a cutie pie. Alright, I'm going to leave you alone because you were being wonderful. If anybody spots a cat, let me know. Oh, there goes Banshee. Way back there in the background. Hey, little Banshee. Oh, I'm going to run hide. Somebody saw me. Brenda Joseph is doing fine. He is a long walk from here though, so I'm not sure that my battery is going to make it back there. Yes, Luana is right. If we miss your questions, we're not ignoring you. It's just they go past on screen so fast.
Hi, Gilligan. Not on the Coolaroo today?
They go by so fast that I don't see them, and if I'm focusing on a cat or if I'm talking, I can't talk and read at the same time because you guys have seen what happens when I try. It's not pretty. Oh, that's kind of funny. They put Pharaoh's bed up on top of the hill.
You like it up there? Is that a good place for your Coolaroo? Can barely see you.
If you weren't moving, I wouldn't see you at all. Karen, thank you for wearing that shirt with pride and using it to start the conversation. I think that's the best part of all of the gear that we sell in both of the stores, is that it gives you an opportunity to talk to people about what you love most, which is protecting cats. And people are always enamored with cats, so I know, goodness, whenever I go anywhere wearing the Big Cat Rescue logo shirts, I get stopped everywhere by people wanting to talk about big cats.
Hey there, little smalls. I think I'm going to come in there and see you.
Smalls hurt her foot the other day, so she's been on antibiotics for it. Don't know what she did. Don't know if it was a
Meow. Hey, Mrs. Claus.
if it was a sting.
We just don't know. Where's Nabisco? You're so chirpy. Yes, you are.
Poor Randall was here all day again, trying to keep our live webcams up and running. I can see why places don't use them, because goodness, they're a huge maintenance issue.
They're smalls.
So he was trying to get the Bobcat rehab cameras back online. They have two of them over there. One of them is on the long run and one's on the short run, and she hangs out down in the short side, so he wanted to get the short side working, and I don't think he ever did get it working today. But in the meanwhile, the one over at Vacation Rotation went down, and it was just like, ah! Every time there's a lightning strike out here, it takes down a camera. Ooh, Nicola, that sounds painful.
Well, where is he? Where is Mr. Biscuits? There he is. Were you on the Cougar? Or were you just thinking about it? There's Nabisco. You would make a lot of people very happy if you would hop up there on that Cougar, son. Brr. Brr. Who's all furry?
Thank you, Pam, for waving at Randall. Randall has been a wonderful friend to the sanctuary. He runs a computer service business called Purr-fection, CSI.
Look who's over there. Miss Anasazi. Anasazi. Oh, you sharpening those claws? They're making them so sharp. So sharp. You watching?
I just have to keep a really close eye on every muscle on her body so I don't end up with a face full of Bobcat here. So that was Gail calling. Oh man. And this beautiful butterfly was just floating all around me while she was talking, but now it has flittered away.
Where'd you go, butterfly?
You guys see it? It's moving so fast. I need to back up so you guys can see it. I don't know if you guys can see something that small on the screen.
There's King Tut. I haven't seen King Tut in a while. Did somebody call my name? Did somebody speak my name?
Oh, there goes the low battery warning.
Who is so handsome? You are. You're so handsome.
I hope everybody made the call of the wild today. Front Page News in Tampa, Florida was talking about the 22 tigers going from Dade City Wild Things to a place in Oklahoma in violation of a federal court order that barred the owner, Kathy Stearns, from removing the cats because they were evidence in a case, and the people that had sued Dade City Wild Things were granted the right by the court to go in and inspect the conditions that the cats were being kept in, the 22 tigers were being kept in. on the 20th of this month. Ariel's up there, but I can't see her. And rather than have PETA have any look at what those conditions were, it appears that they violated that federal court order to try and hide the cats out of state and put them in a cattle trailer with no water bowls that we could see, no way of cooling them off. There was no air conditioning, which is a violation of both Florida and USDA regulations, and shipped them 1,500 miles across country like that. Only 19 cats arrived, and a litter of 3 cubs were born in the transport trailer during the trip and died during the trip. So it was just a horrible, horrible situation. If you guys go online and look for Tampa Tribune and Dade City Wild Things, if you search that, or Luana might be able to give you a direct link. But that's why we want people to make the call of the wild, because you guys can stop that kind of stuff from happening. Those cats never should have been bred for life in prison, but people would pay to have their pictures made with them. And as long as people will do that, then there are people out there that will breed them for that horrible existence. Thank you, Luana. She just posted the link to that story. So I hope every one of you reads it and is angered enough by the suffering that those cats had to go through and the death of those poor baby tigers that you make the call of the wild over at bigcatact.com. When you go to bigcatact.com, we're going to ask you to put in your information, and what it'll do is, once you do that, we want you to make a call. And it's after hours, so it's not going to be scary. You're just going to get an answering machine. Even if you got a real person, it's going to be a 20-year-old aide that's working for the congressman. And unfortunately, this only works for U.S. residents because the system won't allow anybody outside of the U.S. It's because of the way it maps it to the right legislator. We can't do anything to override that, or we would. But because we think they should hear from everybody, especially people in countries where this has been banned for a long time. But anyway, if you go there and you fill in your information and hit call, then the phone will start ringing, and when it answers, it will be your legislator, and all we ask you to do is say, please ask your boss to co-sponsor the Big Cat Public Safety Act. Please ask your boss to co-sponsor the Big Cat Public Safety Act, or just Big Cat Act. They'll know what it is. And that's it. It takes you literally one sentence to make a huge difference. Petitions don't make any difference, and email doesn't have much of an effect, but making a call or going in person and meeting with your legislator, that really does have an impact. So please, please do that. And Luana pointed out that the script is right there for you when you go to bigcatact.com, so you don't have to worry about remembering what I just said. It's right there, so it's all very, very easy. And that's what it's going to take to put an end to the private possession of these cats. What the Big Cat Public Safety Act will do is ban the private possession of these cats. People who have them can keep them, they just can't buy or breed more. And it stops the cub petting schemes. And that's what's causing so many of these cats to be bred for life in cages, is people want to pay to touch them because they see idiots like the guy in Mexico or the guy in Africa petting cats, and they think, oh wow, that's cool, I want to do that too. And as long as people are showing those kinds of images online, then that's going to make other people want to do that. And we just got to put an end to all of those kinds of images out there so that people aren't being led into believing that this is something good to do or something cool. Naomi, you're absolutely right. You can call weekly. I think it's a woman by the name of Karen who calls every day. Gotta love her. My representative, I don't call her every day because she's already a co-sponsor, but even if they are a co-sponsor, I still contact her regularly, just not every day, because saying that they're, signing up as a co-sponsor means that what they're doing is they're saying in writing, when this comes up for a vote, I will vote for it. And that's wonderful, but what we really want them to do is get everybody else they know and that they have influence on in Congress to do the same thing. So that's why we often say, please champion the Big Cat Public Safety Act. And if you're wondering about all of the issues behind cub petting and why the Big Cat Public Safety Act is so important, then we have a great resource for you. There's videos and text and documents, everything that you would need to learn everything you would ever want to know about why petting cubs is so horrible for the cubs. And that's all over at cubtruth.com. cubtruth.com. This is Lovey. Lovey Bobcat. Naomi, thank you for posting the Call of the Wild link. I really appreciate that. It's only through the sharing that you guys do and reaching so many more people than what we could ever reach on our own that this thing will take flight. And I've been talking to a lot of reporters lately with this article that just came out about the horrible situation with Dade City Wild Things, and it talks about how, you know, some of these places have been under investigation by USDA for 7 years. 7 years they've been under investigation, but nothing's happened. No fines, nothing to stop the abuse. And that's the way it is with our government agencies. They don't take action on things unless people just make such a huge fuss that it's easier to do the right thing and ban the private possession than to have to listen to one more person call them or email them or write them, send them a postcard or anything else. So you got to be the squeaky wheel for these cats because they're stuck in cages and they can't speak for themselves. Patty, that is the best thing you can do, I think. You know, without being like in somebody's face all the time. I do the same thing. When somebody posts a picture of a cute little cub and says, oh, look how cute, first thing I ask is, where's that cub's mom? Because guess what? If that cub is in a picture with a person, that cub's never going back to their mom. Moms raise them to be wild. Hello, Miss Purr-fection. Oh, I don't want to disturb your sleep. I will back away. So the people who are using the cubs that way are ripping them away from their moms as soon as they're a few hours or a few days old, forcing them to be used for pay-to-play opportunities, and then discarding them into horrible situations. It really frosts me, some of these quote-unquote sanctuaries that allow these cub petting schemes to constantly be dumping cubs on them. And so year after year after year, they will let the cub petters, the people who are breeding these animals and pimping them out, dump last year's cubs on them because they can't use them any longer. That was Zucari. Hey, Zucari. And as long as they do that, they're just making it easy for those people to keep breeding and pimping out cubs. It costs $10,000 a year to take care of an adult tiger, so of course the cub pimps don't want to do that. They want to have enough for breeding purposes so they can pimp out plenty of cubs, but they don't want to have to take care of the cats. I'm sorry, I'm closing a fence. They don't want to take care of those adults, so they dump them on these pseudo sanctuaries who love getting those little youngsters in, because that draws in volunteers who want to come play with the juvenile cats. And it's this horrible vicious cycle. It's really, really sad. And you can't educate people out of this. The only way to end it is through legislation. Here goes my handsome husband. Wonder why he's here. I think I'm gonna go find out. Alright, just gonna see if we can see one last tiger before I go. I'm looking out at Tiger Lake for Seth or Andy. Andy got his cage mode today, so you can actually see him. He was so deep in there. Hi! Hey, Andy! It was so deep back there, you could barely see him. Wow. Not sure this is going to be any better. Is he way back there? There he is. There's his stripiness. Alright. Good night, everybody.